Hi, I'm James Lamont, co-chair of the Vadine Center for Rural Economic Development at the University of Minnesota Crookston campus. I would like to welcome you to the Food Supply Chain Series, Part 2. In Part 1, we discussed raw inputs that go into farming and ranching, as well as operations at the farming and ranching level. In Part 2, we will discuss manufacturing and packaging and why this is the choke point for what we're experiencing at grocery stores as well as food banks across the country. Beef, pork, and chicken are all impacted by COVID 19. In each of these manufacturing and packaging facilities, people tend to work in close proximity to one another. Therefore, they spread the disease. Since they spread the disease because of their proximity without the ability to socially distance, facilities have experienced outbreaks across the country. One great example would be the Smithfield site for pork. It's the largest pork processing site in the United States in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. That facility was forced to close for a couple of weeks. We've also seen other outbreaks throughout the Midwest, primarily at Tyson facilities, impacting other meats such as pork, or rather chicken and beef. Outbreaks in these facilities have also led to temporary closures. As a result of this, facilities have had to stop their production, which has caused problems for farmers and ranchers across the country, which I will talk about here shortly. In addition to the processing and packaging capacity problems, there's a shifting demand at the consumer level. So you have a supply that's decreased because facilities are unable to push the product out, but simultaneously, you have major shifts in consumer demand. COVID 19 pushed folks to panic buy and as a result, stock up on massive amounts of meats that we've typically not seen. As a result, the demand skyrocketed while the supply dropped, therefore creating a supply chain shortage, or food shortage rather, within supermarkets across the country. Simultaneous to that, food purchasing from restaurants declined as a result of the disease, which then impacted distribution and warehousing. From there, container shortages ensued. Farmers were unable to contain or access these containers, and as a result of the container shortages, the inability to move their product to facilities to process their product, and the consumer demand shifts, we started to experience culling. The reason why farmers have to cull their animals is due to the fact that a majority of these facilities have max weight capacities for these animals. So when these animals reach a certain weight, they can no longer go to these facilities and therefore must be killed by their owners. So what we have today is a supply chain imbalance. We have a demand imbalance because of the increase, and all of these components have resulted in what we are observing today at grocery stores throughout the country. Thank you for joining me in the second part of the supply chain series.